Joe Biggs here with Infowars.com. Now, Hawaii has a brand new bill that's about to be passed, SB 2954, which requires background checks from the FBI, gun registration, all kinds of horrible things. We're going to get into that with my guest, Kevin, here in just a moment. Now, we've heard about strict gun laws all across the country in many different states, and it seems to be the areas where there usually is the most amounts of crime. And now Hawaii has a bill that has been introduced and is now passed. It's Senate Bill 2954. And what this is a pretty creepy law that could be that is going to be put into effect on December 5th. So I have Kevin Kakatan from Hawaii who's joining us right now, and he's going to tell us what he knows about this and how it can affect the people of Hawaii.
Hi, Joe. Thank you for having me and taking the time out to pay attention to this matter that's kind of gone under the radar. I know that California recently has had, their Gunmageddon, and I believe it was several propositions that went through. On one hand, it's nothing as bad as that. However, the danger here is that what they're planning on doing, or what is going to take effect come Monday, December 5th, is that anyone registering a new firearm that day will have to essentially pay $42 to enter themselves into what they call the wrap-back system. And allegedly, the wrap-back system is the same system utilized by, I believe, the FBI for people in positions of trust, as they describe it. It's educators, people that work for the government, perhaps. But from what I understand, it was never meant to monitor legal firearm owners, but that's what they're planning on doing.
So I'm going to read you exactly from the FBI what it means. The wrap-back service allows authorized agencies to receive notification at activity on individuals who hold positions of trust, i.e. school teachers, daycare workers, or who are under criminal justice supervision or investigation, thus eliminating the need for repeated background checks on a person from the same applicant agency. Prior to the deployment of wrap-back, the National Criminal History Background Check System provided a one-time snapshot view of an individual's criminal history status. With wrap-back, authorized agencies can receive ongoing status notifications of any criminal history reported to the FBI after the initial processing and retention of criminal or civil transactions. By using fingerprint identification to identify persons arrested and prosecuted for crimes, wrap-back provides a nationwide notice to both criminal justice and non-criminal justice authorities regarding subsequent actions. I mean, that doesn't sound good to me. Does it to you, Kevin?
No, actually, it's just essentially a way for them to, in a subtle way, essentially almost criminalize law-abiding gun owners in the state of Hawaii. There are no other groups of people or most professions that aren't, monitored without having anything really been done. And there's a lot of questions as to what could disqualify a firearm owner if they are, under some kind of arrest or, get involved in some kind of incident outside the state of Hawaii that triggers this wrap-back alert. Obviously, felony arrests, domestic dispute cases and all that. But I mean, are they going to be adding any other sort of violations to this that could disqualify someone from owning a firearm? They have not been very transparent as to what wrap-back is going to involve. They haven't really made much public. In fact, most people don't even know it's going to go into effect come Monday, December 5th.
Yeah, exactly. I actually called the Honolulu Police Department and spoke with 5 different officers, and I asked them, what they knew about SB 2954, what it details, is there gun confiscation involved? And none of them even heard of the law at all whatsoever. So you have people who are supposed to know the law and enforce the law and hold people to that standard, and they don't even know anything about it yet. And it's just 3 days away from rolling out. That's still kind of that's still sketchy, that this is going to be a new law, and these guys who are supposed to uphold it and know about it have no clue about it yet whatsoever.
Right. And, one of the state senators that had actually introduced the bill or helped write it, there was I didn't attend the meeting, unfortunately, but there was a meeting back in the summer of 2016 that was kind of held informally at the state capitol, and people in attendance, were asking the state senator by the name of Willis Sparrow,
Mm-hmm.
what was exactly, involved with his decision to write this bill and all that. And essentially, again, not my words, but what other people have claimed, his response was that essentially he didn't really read the bill. He didn't really read the bill at all. And some of our astute gun owners, people that are way more educated than I, attempted to educate him on what it involved. And some of the other anti-gun folks that were there were also allegedly, from what I hear, were somewhat surprised as to what it would involve. So it was it just really seems like a very shaky process. Like they're almost like as if they were making it up as they went along with it. And to me, in my opinion, it just seems like around that time there was that filibuster happening in D.C. and and it seemed like they couldn't vote on further gun control. So it just seemed like our governor took it upon himself to say, hey, well, while the Democrats in D.C. couldn't get anything done, let's just show that we could do something here. And it just seems like that's where this entire thing came about, because despite all of the letters and resistance to this bill from Hawaii gun owners, they just signed it anyway.
Yeah, so it looks like it was introduced on January 27th, and the report title says SB 2954, Criminal History Record Checks, Police, Permits to Acquire Firearms, Hawaii Criminal Justice Data Center, Database Management. Description is authorizes county police departments to enroll firearms applicants and individuals who are registering their firearms into a criminal record monitoring service used to alert police when an owner of a firearm is arrested for a criminal offense anywhere in the country. It authorizes the Hawaii Criminal Justice Data Center to access firearm registration data. And this is the interesting thing about it. Now, if this becomes successful and the people in Washington see this and they get some ideas down the road, this could be something that they would try and pass countrywide, or nationwide, I should say. And that's the interesting thing. We have a lot of people like Harry Reid that I'm sure would just jump right on this and be all about it.
Right. It is a dangerous thing of setting a precedence. And, honestly, even if it's successful or not, or how smoothly it goes, I have no doubt that other states will try to pass the same thing coming up this, whatever their respective legislation periods are. I mean, we've already seen things happening out of California that other states have tried to adopt. Luckily in Hawaii, again, luckily for now, we've been somewhat bulletproof from some of the atrocious gun laws in California, like things restricting their semi-automatic rifles and things like that. Again, in Hawaii, we still haven't been affected by that, but things like this RAP bill that doesn't directly on the surface seem to affect firearms like magazine capacities and things like that. I can see how these things can go under the radar in some states because it may seem benign on the surface, but it really isn't. Essentially, we're looking at putting a group of people that have not been convicted of anything onto essentially a federal watch list. And we've seen how watch lists or lists in general have been compromised. I mean, not too long ago, there was that incident in New York where I think it got leaked out that all the names and addresses, or at least the names of registered gun owners in New York, were leaked to the public. I mean, who's to say that our names on this federal rap back, monitored by, I'm not sure if it's monitored by the Honolulu Police Department or the FBI, who's to say that list won't be compromised and all of our information doesn't get out as well? So it's really a dangerous precedence for the entire country.
Indeed, it is. Well, it's scary when you actually have this. It gets passed, but it's so vague, too. I'm sitting here looking at the bill, and it doesn't really tell you what happens if you are found to be guilty of breaking this law, so to say. Are they going to come to your home? Is there going to be gun confiscation? Are they going to ban you after that from ever owning firearms or purchasing them again? I mean, what's the process of getting put on it? And then what's the process of being removed from something like this? I mean, if you were to be arrested and then found innocent later on down the road, so those are the questions we're going to have to ask from here on out.
Really, I mean, I think as most people have described it here, I mean, it really begins with the gun owners of Hawaii really standing up and really supporting the Hawaii Rifle Association, our own local gun advocacy group.
All right. Well, this is all extremely interesting stuff. Hopefully people will call out to people in Hawaii and have them stop this if they can. But this is all the time we have. Thanks for being on here with us, Kevin. This has been Joe Biggs with Infowars.com.
Thank you, Joe.
In case you haven't heard, InfoWars has become the most influential media outlet in America. We're making freedom go viral. And now we are proud to announce a new weapon in the epic battle against the globalists. InfoWars Prime, where you can watch live high-definition feeds of The Alex Jones Show, plus exclusive insider videos from the InfoWars crew and behind-the-scenes action. Go to Infowars.com/app and download today. InfoWars Prime is available right now for your iPhone or Android. You will have access to exclusive videos that you can't see anywhere else. And that means live coverage of events and breaking news on location as it happens. You can also take advantage of amazing deals from the InfoWars store that are only available for InfoWars Prime subscribers. That's InfoWars Prime at Infowars.com/app. And if you can hear my voice, you are the resistance.